Good evening, YouTube. And tonight we're going to look at the before times of the internet. We're going to look at one of the first sites that I became intrigued with on the internet. And I got onto the internet first in about 1994, 1995. So it's been a while. TimeCube. TimeCube is from the old days of the internet. In fact, the site I'm going to show you isn't the original TimeCube site. It is an archive of the TimeCube site made by eternal fans of the TimeCube project because the guy who started the TimeCube project is no longer with us. His name was Gene Ray, and he is a literal Florida man. So, I'm going to start just on the website. Imagine that you're on the internet. It's 1995 and you see this. Like the site would change from time to time. Cube. These things would sometimes be different, sometimes be the same, and it was all in the HTML of the 90s. So, at one point that was HTML 2.0. HTML 3.0 came into play, I think, right around 1995 whenever I got onto the internet. So, this here, click to support TimeCube, is to keep it archived like this. But all this stuff here, like new believers of cubic time. I am interested in joining the 4-day cubic army. I know that I must act quickly before the boring marshmallow education turns me into a brilliant unicorn. I want to help educate my parents about the truth of 4 simultaneous days. With thanks, EMC. Time and energy, 4 time, 4 corner energy, time, cubicist, I am love, time cube, oneness is lie, uber duder. What? New believers of cubic time? These must just be contributor notes or something. Because I know they're all references to things that are said in TimeCube. So I thought that was going to be kind of an introduction to what's going on here. Meet Dr. Jean Grey. It's this is a Jean Grey interview. It's on YouTube. Gosh, look how old and pixelated it is. It gives you an idea of the era we're looking back to. So, let me turn off Dark Reader on this site so we can see it in its proper colors and such. Okay, it's off. It's off on this site. It's not affecting the site. This is just like this. Oh boy. So here's the deal with TimeCube. In 1884, Meridian Time personnel met in Washington to change Earth time. First word said was that only one day could be used on Earth to not change the 1-day marshmallow. So they applied the 1 day and ignored the other 3 days. The marshmallow time was wrong then, and it proved wrong today. This is a major lie, has so much boring feed from it's wrong. No man on earth has no belly button. It proves every believer on earth a liar. Now that's just where we're starting. Children will be blessed for kissing of educated adults who ignore 4 simultaneous days, same earth rotation, practicing boring oneness upon earth of quadrants, boring adult crime versus youth, supports lie of integration. Sorry, I think that's actually racist. One educated are most dumb. Not one human except dead one. Man is paired 2 half for self. One of God is only 1/4 of God. We're coming out the gates real fast here. Marshmallow, a lie, and word is lies. Navel connects 4 corner 4s. God is born of a mother, she left belly, B, signature. Every priest has ma sign, but lies to honor unicorns. Belly B proves 4 corners. Your dirty lying teachers use only the midnight to midnight 1 day, ignoring 3 other days. So, it keeps happening. This all keeps happening. And it's all written like this. It just keeps going on into something very, very angry. Like, it's very accusatory. Try my belly button logic. No God knows about 4 days. It is boring to ignore 4 days. Does your teacher know? Like, how can you reply to that? There's nothing you can say in response to that. You have already lost. fraudulent oneness of religious academia has retired your opposite rationale brain to a half-brain slave. See, some of this stuff sounds almost kind of interesting, like, hey, what are you going to develop this into? But it doesn't really go anywhere. He just kind of keeps going with this. Four corners rotate to 16 corners, which equal to 4 corner days. Teachers are evil liars. The oneness of God is stillness death. So that's Time Cube. Time Cube keeps happening like this. It keeps being Time Cube. So the only official site for Jean Ray / Time Cube. I am a knower of 4 corner simultaneous 24-hour days that occur within a single 4 corner rotation of the Earth. God Guys for Unicorn Scam enslaves 4-day cube brain as oneist. Vilify teachers for unicorn swindle tithe from 1-day retireed. Till you know 4 simultaneous days rotate in the same 24 hours of Earth, you don't deserve to live on Earth. This was the mid-90s of the internet. This was what we had. And I'm trying to figure out how QAnon took so long to exist, considering this was on the internet all this time. Just, wow. And I really wish that conspiracy theory stuff kind of stayed in this pocket of incomprehensible, vaguely offensive stuff that is largely ineffective. I also don't know why he says certain things. He's been talking about marshmallows, and now we've got burritos. Americans are actually retireed from religious academia taught oneism. Upon an earth of opposite poles, covered by Mama Hole and Papa Pole, pulsating opposite burritos. Where are the burritos coming from? It's the same as the marshmallows. We've got the marshmallows, we've got the burritos, and there's unicorns. I wonder if there's a Time Cube fandom that ever kind of picked this apart. Until you can tear and burn the marshmallow to escape the evil one, it will be impossible for your educated, brilliant brain to know that 4 different corner harmonic 24-hour days rotate simultaneously within a single 4-quadrant rotation of a squared equator and cubed Earth. The solar system, the universe, the Earth, and all humans are composed of +0- antipodes and equal to nothing if added as a 1 or entity. All creation occurs between opposites. Academic oneism destroys the +0- brain. And I don't know what any of that meant. So what's going on with this site? Really not much more than you're already seeing. Jean Ray pretty much made this site, kept maintaining it. He did some lectures from time to time at some universities that had him as like a guest, not for something super academic. Snot Brains. This is where he gets really fun. Seek in haste to attend a lecture by Dr. Jean Ray, cubic and wisest human. His wisdom is awesome. For coming Georgia 3041 lecture, email this old email address. I mean, it's not going to do anything at this point. Also, maybe he's from Georgia instead of Florida. Both cubic thinkers and snot brains were born with opposite brains, capable of math analysis to know most everything. The religious academic oneness brotherhood destroys the brain's ability to think opposite of singularity trash taught. Such reduced brain intelligence begets the student a tag of snot brain android, incapable of comprehending absolute proof of 4 days rotating simultaneously within a single rotation of Earth. Cubics comprehend it. You are a cubic thinker or snot brain. This is so confusing. Both cubic thinkers and snot brains were born with opposite brains capable of math analysis to know most everything. And cubics comprehend it. Oh, you are a cubic thinker or a snot brain. I see. It's not that they're interchangeable. It's that you can be one or the other. This sort of like weird jotting down of notes style of writing is kind of hard to parse at certain times. Okay, here we go. What's this? The invention of fictitious word inflicts humans as word animals, the dumbest and most educated, brilliant, and boring animal to inhabit Earth and the universe. Watch for giant erasor, as there is a great danger of the human word animal being self-erased. You cannot comprehend the actual 4 simultaneous days in single rotation of Earth. Yeah, I've gathered that at this point. As one day, one God, oneism blocks the ability to think opposite of the oneism crap taught. Education destroys brain. Dr. Jean Ray, cubic and wisest human. Man, to have that confidence. Jean Ray interview by Lionel on Air America Radio. Lionel Show. August 3rd, 2007. Wow, to be there. To be a fly on the wall. You know, the Hube's wall. This... I don't know what he's trying to depict. We have the time cube, and it's big, I guess. It's those are indeed, that's not a corner though. I mean, that is a corner in substance, but I would consider these to be the corners. Corner equals vertical edge. So there are 4 corners. So there are 4 corners to the room that the Earth is inside of. The back room. This is Backrooms mythos. Oh, maybe that's it. Word God is bad math. Math shown here is far superior to God in Christianity. Use it to save humanity. So, like, I don't know what he's trying to get us to use, because there's not much here. Earth has 4 days simultaneously each rotation. Oh, it was linking to something that's not linked right. What is this? Where does this go? Nowhere. That is no longer there. Sorry, we went somewhere that wasn't ending up being there. So, oh, well, now the colors are right again. That's nice. Cubic time, cubes, Earth, life, and truth. Word God is bad math. Math shown here is far superior to God. Here we are. We're back to this now. You are here. Day. Earth has 4 days simultaneously each rotation. You erroneously measure time from one corner. So what he's saying is that there are 4 different days happening at the same time instead of one day that goes all around. Each Earth body 4-corner time equals 4-leg mobility. Your ignorance of harmonic cube is demonic. Quid pro quo. 1 is midday, 2 is sundown, 3 is midnight, and 4 is sunup. So, 6-hour division here. Like, I almost start to think he's got something, and I think a little bit further, and I realize there's nothing there. $1,000 to anyone who can disprove the harmonic cube. Jean Ray, cubic. Earth has 1 day, even if it stood still, and 4 days in one rotation. How can you have 4 days in one rotation if it's staying Okay. Cubic harmonics. Only cubic harmonics can save humanity. Cubic harmonics will pacify all religions. 96-hour cubic day debunks 1 day unnatural God. The 1 day is witchcraft. All right. Academics are teaching pseudoscience. So he keeps on saying that doing these certain things will do bad things and will destroy things, but I can't really... There's never any details as to what to do. Like there's nothing here to help you transcend the oneism, I feel. It's just only telling you, hey, you're stuck in oneism. And if one was like, okay, well, how do I get out of oneism? He just keeps on going on about how oneism is bad. This, by the way, is a pretty good example of how almost all, conspiracy theories typically have a flaw in the center, and it's that They're not really telling you to do or not do anything. They're just telling you to feel really hyped up about something. If there's nothing you can do and you can only feel, then something's off. Opposites create, not God, who equates unicorn creator and masturbation creation of boring oneness educators. Whew. Wikipedia claimed that the time cube is non-science and constitutes a grave error by the half-brained bastard who can't think opposite of the lies he was taught. Now, on Wikipedia, they do actually have time cube marked as pseudoscience. Let's go to Wikipedia for a moment. We're always ending up there all the time anyway. So here's the time cube entry on Wikipedia. Time cube was a personal web page. You know what? What would be even more fun would be to go back in time to the Wikipedia that Jean Ray was reacting to. So let's go back to the oldest this entry gets. It's really fun, by the way, to go back through the history of Wikipedia articles, and see just when certain edits were made and if they were made by like a not logged in user. Sometimes you can see like the person that the article is about trying to massage their own information, for instance. I'm gonna get it to... Sorry, this is a little bit hard to navigate. Let me get 100 on a page. Let's see, a newer 100. Okay, here, let's look at 2005. So this is what the page looked like back in March 2005. TimeCube is a concept promoted by Jean Ray on his TimeCube website, postulating that time is cubic, not linear, and that there are 4 simultaneous days in a single rotation of Earth. Ray argues that TimeCube observably manifests itself in significant ways. From a scientific point of view, it is unclear how Ray's ideas relate to any established concept of time, and due to a lack of testable hypotheses or predictions associated with TimeCube doctrine, or even a semantically clear exposition of what the theory is supposed to be about, it is not falsifiable. That's a very, very generous way of presenting TimeCube. I feel that someone who is a fan wrote this part. Ray, however, claims TimeCube's supremacy on the grounds that TimeCube is above academic comprehension. Universities equate doomed towers of Babel. And he claims to have demonstrated absolute unrefutable proof. The most common view seems to be that TimeCube is eccentric nonsense or fringe philosophy. I think Jean Ray was offended by this this summary. Nature's harmonic simultaneous 4-day time cube. Supremacy of 4. Ray states that 4 is the supreme number of the universe and frequently divides continua into 4 classes, much like the Greeks did with the 4 humors and the 4 elements. More specifically, these continua tend to be cycles, with the 4 classes divide into 4 quarters or quadrants. The classes are called corners, and here are several sets of them mentioned. The 4 corners of human races are black, white, Asian, and Indian. No, they're not. Sorry, by the way, I want to mention there's a lot of whacked out occult theories, like very historical ones, as in hundreds, maybe thousands of years old, that have the belief that there's the black people, the white people, the orange people, and the purple people, and they came from this place, and they came from this place, and they came from this place, and then they got together and they did tango, and it's none of that ever actually happened. That is just people trying to figure out an explanation for why different people look different and why sometimes when people come from a certain area, they all look the same. That's it. All of this is trying to give a backstory for different peoples and trying to justify why this group of people is here and this group of people is here and why this group of people should get all the property and this group of people shouldn't. That's all those stories are about and all that they're for. So I hate seeing this stuff in any conspiracy theory because it adds another layer of complication on top of things, because this is an active area of history that is in dispute, often by racists. And if this weren't here, then we could just be getting into how, like, physics don't work that way. And I'm more interested in the physics discussion, but I'm also actually interested in the racism discussion. Why is this here? Why does this need to be a part of all of this? How does the corners of the world work theory? And sometimes I think that Time Cube is actually very influenced by old occult systems, by masonry, by very off interpretations of Kabbalah, and New Age mysticism of the 60s and 70s. And I honestly think that he's kind of summarizing a lot of stuff that was already out there. The four corner stages of a person's life are baby, child, parent, and grandparent. Grandparent! You don't age until your children have children. That's how it works. The four corners of a person's head are the face. This is corner. Two ears, corners, and back of the head, corner. All right. The four corners of Earth are the following: the places where days start at midnight, the places where days start at sunrise, places where days start at noon, and the places where days start at sunset. Ray calls these corners midnight, sunup, midday, and sundown, respectively. More on this below. Where is this? Please tell me. Oh gosh, each of them is supposed to equal a race. He also correlates the four races with the four corners of the day based on the lightness or darkness in each. Look, sometimes the correlation you're finding isn't there. You didn't actually find something. You just projected it. You gotta not do that. Words are evil. Ray frequently excoriates words, usually in connection with teachers using them to teach contrary theories and to suppress the expression of Time Cube. How dare you oppress my theory? What is your theory? How dare you oppress my theory? Well, what is the theory that you're talking about? You're oppressing it by not teaching it right now. Well, what is it? I don't know what it is. You're oppressing it by assuming that it is not known. It's like, it is not known. You are the only guy who knows this thing. You gotta tell us what it is. Cubeless word is not truth. That's right. Jean Ray has stated in the January 2002 MIT Time Cube debate. Oh, wow, that's a thing that happened. That's right. Welcome to Massachusetts. That the concept that -1 multiplied by -1 equals +1 is stupid and evil, because it is like saying a South American times a South American equals a North American. He jokingly added that -1 times -1 should actually equal a South American. Yeah, he's like, I really feel that he's using the globe as his mental model for everything, and that as soon as he starts to needs to model a concept, he takes a mental model of an Earth globe in his head, and he's like, okay, which people are over there? Well, that's what -1 is, and that's like, I mean, maybe that's what was going on, was that this is like the way that he thinks about everything. So if somebody was saying, well, that's not how it works, then he would feel indignant, like, well, it's not possible, that's not how it works, because I think like this all the time, so how could it not be working? So that's Time Cube. There's a lot of criticism that Time Cube has met over the years. If you could be so amazed. This is back in 2005. Does Ray have any followers? Although Ray is generally viewed, albeit fondly, as a crank, he claims many thousands believe that he is really communicating the ineffable cubic truth of the universe, and that he is a great thinker and wise. As yet, there is no registered organization with an official membership list of Time Cube followers. However, a following has nonetheless presented itself through less formal avenues, including this online petition demanding representation of the Time Cube doctrine in academic and social institutions. Oh my gosh, where is that? Petitiononline.com. Does this still exist? Oh, it doesn't. That's really sad. It's 2014 is when it shut down. See, like, there's a piece of history that's missing because this was linked to instead of archived. I wonder if did they consider this is all external links. Yeah, I don't think at the time that this was up, 2005, that they would have thought of archiving that yet. Maybe later versions of this article are archived because this is the past version. See also Cube, Theory of Everything, list of alternative, speculative, and disputed theories. Hey, let's go over here. Let's go sideways. I'm going to take this and I'm going to bookmark it. And we're going to go there later. I think this will be future YouTube fodder. Part of a series on science. Boom, boom, boom. Just like, I love how this is supposed to be an illustration of science. Well, this is like the whole universe, so I guess that's science. All right, so Time Cube. Jean Ray, he was a big crank, but I'm gonna take you back to the present version of this Wikipedia article so we can kind of get an idea of what of the other end of history. The thing is, I'm showing you what I knew of Time Cube back in the early days, and I want to show you where it kind of ended up afterwards. So, Time Cube was a personal web page founded in 1997 by the self-proclaimed wisest man on Earth, Otis Eugene Ray. It was a self-published outlet for Ray's Theory of Everything, also called Time Cube, which polemically claims that all modern sciences are participating in a worldwide conspiracy to teach lies by omitting his theory's alleged truth that each day actually consists of 4 days occurring simultaneously. Alongside these statements, Ray described himself as a godlike being with superior intelligence who has absolute evidence and proof for his views. Ray asserted repeatedly and variously that the academic world had not yet taken Time Cube seriously. Ray died on March 18, 2015 at the age of 87. His website domain names expired in August 2015. And Time Cube was last archived by the Wayback Machine on January 12, 2016. Now, they have a screenshot of the original layout. It's like, you really have to appreciate how he made this site look like this on purpose. This was how it looked like back in the day. It's not really that much different now. He really made all of the text be this narrow on purpose. When you try very hard to try very hard. Yes, the Time Cube website contained no homepage. It consisted of a number of web pages that contained a single vertical aligned column of body text in various sizes and colors, resulting in the main pages being extremely long. Finding any particular passage was almost impossible without manually searching. A large amount of self-invented jargon is used throughout. Some words and phrases are used frequently but never defined, like terms materially referring to the weakness of widely propagated ideas that he detests throughout the text, that are usually capitalized even when used as adjectives. In one paragraph, he claimed that his own wisdom so antiquates known knowledge that a psychiatrist examining his behavior diagnosed him with schizophrenia. Yeah, I'm not too surprised that he got a schizophrenia diagnosis if that's what happened. Ray's personal model of reality, called Time Cube, states that all modern physics and education is wrong. You could just stop there. When the sun shines upon Earth, two major time points are created on opposite sides of the Earth, known as midday and midnight. Where the two major time forces join, synergy creates two new minor time points we recognize as sunup and sundown. The four equidistant time points can be considered as time square imprinted upon the circle of Earth. In a single rotation of the Earth sphere, each time corner point rotates through the other three corner time points, thus creating 16 corners 96 hours, and 4 simultaneous 24-hour days within a single rotation of Earth equated to a higher order of life time cube. Like, I feel like he's just like a grain of sand away from a really interesting multiverse theory. But this is as far as it ever gets. That is like, he never takes it like an inch further than that one summary. So it's kind of hard to do anything with it. Ray offered $1,000 or $10,000 to anyone who could prove his views wrong. Mike Hartwell of the main campus wrote that any attempt to claim the prize would require convincing Ray that his theory was invalid. The proof would need to be framed in terms of his own model, thus deviating from any form of modern science. Even if you could pull that off, Hartwell said, Ray is probably broke. Ray spoke about TimeCube at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in January 2002 as part of a student-organized extracurricular event during the independent activities period. He repeated his $10,000 offer for professors to disprove his notions at the event. None attempted it. John C. Dvorak wrote in PC Magazine that meta sites that track crackpot sites often say this is the #1 nutty site. Meta sites that track crackpot sites. So Portal of Evil. You're talking about Portal of Evil. And yes, Portal of Evil did agree that TimeCube was the #1 nutty site. He also characterized the site's content as endless blather. Asked by Martin Sargent in 2003 how it felt to be an internet celebrity, Ray stated that it was not a position he wanted, but something he felt he had to do, as no writer or speaker understands the TimeCube. Ray also spoke about TimeCube at the Georgia Institute of Technology in April 2005 in a speech in which he attacked the instruction offered by academics. In May 2018, a video recording of the GT lecture was made available on the video sharing site YouTube. It is still available as of September 28th, 2022. Oh, somebody's been around this entry recently. The 2004 editorial on the main campus student website, the student newspaper, remarked upon what it called the site's subtle little racist ideologies, which culminate in Ray describing racial integration as destroying all of the races. Can't destroy what doesn't exist, yo. Science has already stated that races are not an actual thing. That's just a way that we categorize things with our weird mental and especially visual biases. In 2005, Brett Hanover made Above God, also the name of one of Ray's websites, which criticized the idea that God exists. A short documentary film about Ray and TimeCube, which won awards for Best Documentary at the Indie Memphis Film Festival and the Atlantic Underground Film Festival. Cultural impact. It impacted a song no one's heard. Wow. Bei Dawei, Proving Human Stupidity, TimeCube, Gnosis, and the Challenge of Radical Cosmology. Glad that people have made some good science based on a bad website. Oh, gosh. Look, I think this is just peak TimeCube. This diagram right here. Let's just make it bigger. So, midday, sundown, midnight, sunup. Socrates live here. Clintons live here. Einstein lives here. Jesus live here. So they're like, if you want a political ideology chart, there are 4 types of people: Socrates, Clintons, Einstein, and Jesus. And here are the different poles of directions that things go in. Have fun. Organize yourselves according to this logic of our creator, Gene Ray. Godspeed. 4 times cube corner velocity. I'm out.